listening to Rod Wolf on the Lehigh Valley's original Sunday Night Hall of Fame. WAEB. The greatest hits of all time from the station that made them famous. WAEB.
You're listening to the Sunday Night Hall of Fame and our exclusive interviews with the stars of Stabler. This is Rod Wolf, and if it was Lou Christie who stole the recent Oldies reunion concert, then it was Gary U.S. Bonds who came in a close second. Gary had been called the night before the concert, at midnight no less, and asked if he could fill in for Peter Noone, who had experienced an emergency medical problem in his immediate family. Trooper that he is, Gary said sure, he'd help us out. And that's why over 6,000 Oldies fans were able to see a true early rock and roll legend. Gary's recording career had begun 26 years earlier, in 1960, in Norfolk, Virginia. I asked Gary U.S. Bonds how it all began, and how he came to meet Frank Guida, the owner of Norfolk's Legrand Record Company.
Gary, welcome to the Lehigh Valley.
It's good to be here.
Again.
Over hill and dale, I guess.
And it's good to see you again.
That's good to be back, really.
If you don't mind reminiscing with us. Norfolk, Virginia. How did it all get started with Frank Guida and Legrand record label?
Well, I had a group down there called the Turks. I guess just a street-corner group. We never did anything, we just sat around, drink, a couple of sodas, and we'd sing a few doo-wops from the Drifters and Coasters, Flamingos, and all those guys. And Frank Guida came by one day and saw us singing. He says, I'm planning on opening a studio in a couple of years. Get my money together. Would you guys like to help me out? Sure, why not? And sure enough, a couple of years later, he came by and said, well, I'm ready. I said, well, we're not, because two of the guys are in the Army already. One guy was in jail, and I was the only one left. So he says, well, looks like I had to take you. And sure enough, that following week, we went and recorded New Orleans. I guess about 3 months later, it was on the charts.
Was that your first cut?
That was the first one.
I said, hey, 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 yeah. I said, hey, hey, yeah. Well, come on, everybody, take a trip with me. Well, down the Mississippi, down to New Orleans. They got the honeysuckle blooming on the honeysuckle vine. And the love is a blooming there all the time. Every southern belle is a Mississippi queen. Down the Mississippi, down in New Orleans. I said, hey, 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 yeah. I said, hey, 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 yeah. Well, come on, take a stroll down the Basin Street. And listen to the music, the Dixieland beat. Oh, where the magnolia blossoms, they fill the air. Yeah, if you ain't been to heaven, then you ain't been there. They got the rich moss hanging from a big oak tree. Down the Mississippi, down in New Orleans. I said, hey, 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 yeah. I said, look out, child, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, come on, everybody, take a trip with me. Well, down the Mississippi, down in New Orleans. Well, the honeysuckle blooming on the honeysuckle vine. Yeah, and the love is a blooming there all the time. Every southern belle is a Mississippi queen. Down the Mississippi, down in New Orleans.
Gary U.S. Bonds real name is Gary Anderson. I asked him how he came upon his unique stage name.
Back then you were Gary Anderson.
Yep, used to be that.
How did the U.S. bonds happen on New Orleans?
Let's see now. Frank Guida named me that. And that gets us right as my ex-manager. Not really, but I don't know exactly how he got that, except for Mr. Card's Deli next door. He was a man that was interested in United States savings bonds and the flag and, God bless America, that whole bit. And he used to have a huge savings bond up behind his counter there. So I guess Frank kind of got it from that.
Did you really legally change your name?
No, you know what happens, I found out, is after a while, if you're known as that for so long, and you're a single artist, the government automatically changes it. So,
they find you.
So they can get you, and they change that right away. My first knowledge of Gary U.S. Bonds was when I heard it on the radio. I had no idea that was my name, so it was kind of tricky. I didn't have any say-so at all in that.
Well, I'm down in California where the orange trees grow. And there's a pretty little girl here I used to know. Well, she called me yesterday about 1:45. She said, come on over, Daddy, let's have some fun. I said, now what about your husband? They call Battling Jim. She said, come on over, Daddy, don't worry about him, not me. I like it. Well, I'm down in Alabama where they say you all. Oh, where the cats all around are really having a ball. Well, I saw Don and Bill and they were driving around. They turned and looked at me and called me Catfish Clown. Well, I said, wait a minute, but you didn't call me right. They said, what you trying to do, boy? Start a little fight, not me. I ain't no boxer. Back in my hometown, oh, where I got a reputation from miles around. Yeah, and I never know more will I ever roam. I'm sticking right here to my happy home. Well, a fella walked up to me, he said, let's take a trip. I said, you better shut up, or I put you in your lips, not me.
There never was, nor will there ever be another sound quite like the Norfolk Legrand record sound. By the fall of 1959, the dream was a reality. Frank Guida had set up his new studio in an old two-room ex-retail shop. The recording engineer was Guida's friend, Joe Royster. Royster, a clothing salesman by trade, had no training as a recording engineer. But Guida convinced him not to worry, that he would help him with the specifics. And the specifics that Frank Guida had in mind would turn the whole sound of rock and roll music upside down. You see, at the time, rock and roll music generally had a format centered around the electric guitar, and when recorded, trained engineers were always extremely cautious about what are known as recording levels. In the simplest of terms, if a recording engineer keeps the input level mix below a certain level on his meters, the end result is a clean, even sound. And that is exactly what Frank Guida did not want to record on his newly found record label. Instead of the guitar-based, clean recordings he heard everywhere, he was more interested in creating records that would be dominated by the drum beat along with a strong saxophone, trombone, and a bass background. He also wanted to break the rules in another way. He didn't want that clean sound. Guido wanted to record a hot sound, one that would jump out of the transistor radios and record players across the country. So in order to achieve his hot sound, he told his clothing salesman turned recording engineer, Joe Royster, to always keep the input levels on his meters pinned to the red side of the meter, hoping that the end result would be a louder and hotter sound than any other record.
How did you ever get that sound? Was it the studio? Was it the size of the studio?
It was a combination of a lot of lucky things, because the studio was so makeshift. It was just like really hurriedly put together. Basically a small room with some cheap acoustical towers and a little 2-track machine that he had borrowed or rented from somebody, and nobody knew how to operate it. So he hired his buddy, who was a shoe salesman, Royster, only because he knew how to turn it on. That was it. He knew nothing about engineering. Nobody knew anything about recording, period.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Oh, any way you do me, baby, that's all right to me. Well, when I first met you, baby, you were oh so sweet. But then you met some other guy who knocked you off of your feet. But that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Oh, any way you do it, oh, that's all right with me. You know you ruined my life completely. You proved your love untrue. You ran away and broke my heart. Now what am I to do? But that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Oh, any way you do me, oh, that's all right to me. Oh, baby, oh, that's all right. That's all right, baby. You didn't love me. That's all right, baby. And then you made me kiss. You made me kiss. You made me kiss you. But that's all right. You took my
Rod Wolf Sunday Night Hall of Fame.
Hey folks, here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a low-down hoochie coocher. She was the roughest and the toughest rail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a wheel. Hidey, 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 hidey. Thing that she was needing. He gave her a home, built of gold and steel, a diamond car with platinum wheels. Hidey, 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 hidey. Hidey, 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 hidey. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I said oh yeah!
Hello, everybody. This is Rod Wolf, host of the original Sunday Night Hall of Fame. This week I'll be taking you back to the days of penny loafers and bobby socks with an all 1950s edition of the Hall of Fame show.
We ain't faking, whole lot of shaking going on.
It's more of the music that made rock and roll history on an all 1950s Hall of Fame. The music and the memories begin at 6 on AM 790 WAEB.
WAEB Music, Tri-City Radio.